I got you. Let it rap real quick. Look. The city eyes, it's time to poke off. My God, a real nigga, cause he wasn't no flaw. Posted on the corner like a watchdog. Family secure, got that shot in the closet by the ball. Fuck what they heard, but tell them it's all true. Be cautious, that foundation voltage you fall through. They gon' fall. Look, I keep this shit 50 times 2. Ain't no more heart in this game, I'm John Q. Colder than an avalanche, way above average. Beers taste sweet, told him make me an apple tree. Left us in the valley full of bones, this where hope found. Java, come on, man, dark sands get broke down. Riding through Evanston with Mark Quad, telling me how the crackers turn this child into a ghost town. Focus out, nigga, I lay that game down. I feel his pain, cause nothing is the same now. Let my light shine like heaven through a rain cloud. Glock have a fit like my child, no tangent. Try to warn them niggas we bear arms like tarantulas. Them mother niggas rap, I make anthems. I really seen prophets under this banner. Made my enemies bow down on camera. Told my design I wanted black and white like a panda. I'm better than that nigga that sunk dirty to handle. Look, I move like a Brazilian, precious cargo. Spirit ancient, but I got a new semi-auto. Wave that bitch around like where's Wardo. Sleep if they won't, I cut through they Z's like I'm Zorro. Pay me for his name, so I gotta keep that steel clutch. Trust me, I'm not what you think. I squeeze till it click like Dorothy when the heels touch. The world got me dumb, I don't feel much. Ride around with Yara, just left the state bridge. Looking for a bitch better than Baby's kid. Remember I dropped Quiet Storm, I've been gone ever since. Still in the field, fuck them niggas on the fence, yeah.
Yeah, those are messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Who wanna get on his ass real quick one time? 144, baby.
They said you get on, you gon' represent, I said of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, me a whole car. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan, I go with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course, get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that, I swear I'm too hardcore. Wait up, let me make a call right quick, I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about anymore. I need a Vaselina like my Nina Puffer bar. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shang Shaw. Put them out of service, keep them tools like Miss Hopper Free. Try to hope it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Throw them boys, we taking over. Call them up like set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they trade that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, the whole court. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan, I come with the fart. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this Lord, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that, I swear I'm too hardcore. Yeah, I just got off the call, I'ma start another war. Spit a plate up with my niggas, get your knife and your fork. They ain't locked in with the cow, then when you speaking to me fart. Yeah, I just took the floor, ain't no cowards in my campaign. They can't stop the campaign, tell them bring the champagne. They know I'm a champion, they can see the outcome. Get them niggas bad, got them tied down and outdone. You can't do with them steps, but niggas been down since day one. We run up the bands, bitch like Dylan. They say you get on, you gon' represent, I said of course. Soon as they create that beat, I read that bitch just like a horse. Yeah, about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, we whole part. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan, I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. I told you niggas, you ain't cut like that,
All right, shalom. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. We started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana, our precinct officer 1000 Kanak. And tonight is our Wednesday brotherhood class. Salaki, it's a Wednesday law class. Give me 1 second. It's a Wednesday law class, man. So as you can see by the title, which is something that we definitely gonna get into, is about something that happened recently down here in the Rio Grande Valley with a Catholic priest in a city by the name of Brownsville. And this brother did something just heinous and disgusting. And what we're gonna do when we go into that story, we're gonna present that story, and then we're going to show you what you need to do so that you can make sure that you don't end up in that type of situation. So your children and people that you love and your loved ones don't become victims to predators. We're going to give you the tools. I'm going to give you the tools tonight. And what you learn tonight in this class, this is something that you want to teach your family, teach people that you meet, people that you care about. Just teach our people, so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What you learn tonight is something that's going to be very important, for you to teach them, because by you teaching them what we're going to discuss tonight, you're saving the lives and the innocence of children.
That's right.
That's what you'll be doing.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So, but before we get into that, last week we did say we was going to go into Acts. So go ahead and give me that when you got it.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 1. There was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion in the band called the Italian band. Verse 2, a devout man, and one that feared God with all his house, which gave much alms to the people and prayed to God always.
Okay, so right there, it says that this brother right here, Cornelius, right, that he was a centurion. Do you know what a centurion is?
No, sir.
He was a soldier in the Italian band. Like the band is, like another name that, they use for different units of the military. You know what I mean? Like today, in Esau's military, they'll say like, I'm the 25th infantry. You know what I mean? Or I'm the 83rd infantry. And that's all that was. So this brother, he was a centurion, meaning he was a soldier in the Italian band of the army. So verse 2.
The book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 2. A devout man, and one that feared God with all his house.
Now that part right there is important when it says
Right.
that he's a devout man. Because what you'll find is that a lot of people try to say that this is a Edomite. Try to say that this is a so-called white man.
Yeah.
Right? When the scriptures gives us clues,
Right.
In English, something they call context clues. You see what I'm saying? And the scriptures also said precept must be upon precept. So the way that we're able to determine who this brother was and if this was in fact a brother is by the clues that it gives us in the scriptures, by the context. And right here it says that he was a devout man. What you got?
Select out one. The book of Acts, chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men.
Who was dwelling in Jerusalem?
Jews, devout men.
What kind of men?
devout men
Go ahead.
out of every nation under heaven.
And that's the precept that you use to prove that this is a brother. Because the scriptures say that he was a devout man and one that feared God with all his house. The scriptures only refer to us. You can only find Jews being referred to as devout men.
That's right.
That dwelled in every nation. You see what I'm saying? So let's read on.
Verse 3. He saw in a vision, evidently about the 9th hour of the day, an angel of God coming into him and saying unto him, Cornelius. And when he looked on him, he was afraid and said, What is it, Lord? And he said unto him, Thy prayers and thy alms are come up for a memorial before God.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5. And now send men to Joppa and call for one Simeon, whose surname is Peter.
Go ahead.
He lodges with one Simeon, a tanner. No, Salakia. He lodgeth with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do.
So he's getting instructions on what he's supposed to do. So let's go and see. Let's drop down to verse 10.
Come. Book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 10. And when he became very hungry and would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance and saw heaven open. Salakia, verse 11. And saw heaven opened, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners and let down to the earth.
So now this is a vision that this brother is seeing, right? Now, the reason why we started so far up in the chapter is so that we can get the full context of what's going on right here. Because, you know, as we talked about last week, Christians use this scripture to say that it's okay for us to sin.
Right.
That it's okay for us to eat pork. That, you know, everything is all meat is clean now. So they can, you know, eat pork and they can eat shrimp, crab, and lobster. They use this scripture to say that God's law, God's dietary law, is done away with. Let's read on.
Verse 12. Wherein we all, verse 12, wherein were all manner of four-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. Verse 13. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat.
So this brother, he's seeing all these four-footed beasts. There were all manner of four-footed beasts on the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls of the air. And there came a voice to him that said, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. Right? Read on. Verse 14.
Verse 14. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
That is what?
I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean.
That's what Christians want to do. They want to eat things that are common. You know, they want to eat things that are unclean. This brother Peter, he's saying, the Lord said, Rise, kill and eat, because he's seeing all these beasts in front of him and these fowls and these birds in the sky. And he's like, Not so, Lord. Like, I've never eaten anything that's common or unclean. What is he talking about? What is he saying he hasn't eaten, that he's never eaten?
The stuff that's not in the Leviticus that we cannot eat.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what he's saying. That he's never eaten anything that the Lord said was unclean in Leviticus, in the law. Let's read on.
Verse 15. And the voice spake unto him again, the second time, what God hath cleansed, that call not thou common.
Oh boy, that's it. That's it. So we can eat all the beasts and we can eat all the fowls in the air. Because what the Lord cleansed, don't call common. That's where Christians stop right there. But what you know we're going to do? We're going to keep reading.
Verse 16. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again unto heaven.
So it happened 3 times. He saw that. Go ahead.
Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean.
Read that again.
Now, while Peter doubted in himself what this vision which he had seen should mean.
Now, that's very important because this was a vision. This was a vision that he saw. And he within himself, he didn't think, oh, this means I can go eat pork. I can eat shrimp, crabs, and lobster. Because the Lord has cleansed. The dietary law is done away with.
Yeah.
That's not what he said.
No.
He's trying to figure out what it meant because it's a vision. It had nothing to do with food at all. It had nothing to do with eating pork. It had nothing to do with eating shrimp, crab, and lobster. It was a vision. And that's why he even himself is like trying to figure out like, what the hell does that mean? Like he trying to figure out what the vision means.
Yeah.
Read on.
Behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry of Simon's house and stood before the gate and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, were lodged there. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, Behold, 3 men seek thee.
Go ahead.
Verse 20. Arise, therefore, and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them.
Go ahead.
Verse 21. Then Peter went down to the men which were sent unto him from Cornelius, and said, Behold, I am he whom ye seek. What is the cause wherefore ye are come? And they said, Cornelius the centurion, a just man, and one that feareth God, and of good report among all the nations of Slacken, and of good report among all the nation of the Jews, was warned from God by an holy angel to send for thee into the house and to hear words of thee.
So that's what the men sent, that Cornelius, the centurion soldier. These men, they went and they met with Peter after he had this vision. And they're letting Peter know, Peter, he asking them like, why are y'all here? And they letting them know, well, Cornelius sent us, we're his men, and he sent us because angel told him that we needed to come and hear you. You had something to tell us. Let me see now, where we at?
Verse 23, sir.
Verse 23. Let me see where I want to jump down to. Let me see.
Come on, sir.
This, okay, jump down to verse 25.
Come on, sir. This is the book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 25. And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him and fell down at his feet and worshipped him. But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is unlawful, Salakia, verse 28. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company
So what Salakia, so that's very important right there. Because this right here is this finna let you know what the vision was all about. Because the reason why the Most High gave him this vision is because it's like he's saying that it was an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company. Meaning, like we couldn't, if we came up in Israel and there were other Israelites that were, living, let's say I'm an Israelite, like Peter, he's an Israelite. And he born and raised in Israel. And then Cornelius' soldiers, they from Italy. They're soldiers in an Italian army. But they're Israelites.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like their family could have moved there. You know what I mean? Left the land of Israel and moved there. And then they were born there and grew up, speaking Italian or whatever. Had Italian customs, went to Italian schools. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So now me as an Israelite that's in Jerusalem, that's in Israel, I wouldn't keep company with him. Like I would look at you like you were unclean. You see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because remember what he said in the vision when the Lord showed him the beasts and the fowls of the air. He said, what? I've never ate anything common or unclean. So if you're a brother that I know you've had things that are common and unclean, you are unclean.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Concert.
This has nothing to do with food and whether or not Christians can eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster. It has nothing to do with that at all. This is a vision that this brother received from the Most High so that he can stop seeing his brothers as unclean and stop wanting to keep company and associate with his people because they weren't born and raised in Israel under the customs of the Most High.
Right.
All right, let's read on.
Okay. I'm going to start over from top of 28. And he said unto them, ye know how that it is unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation. But God hath showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
They should not call any what?
Any man common or unclean.
That's what the vision was about.
Right.
The Most High showed him this vision so that he wouldn't call any man or any brother that was in another nation common or unclean. That's it.
Right.
That's what it was about. He didn't say the Lord showed me that we can eat pork chops and
Right.
shrimp and lobster. Go ahead.
Slack y'all one. If I may, Christians would also say, well, see, we're all cleansed now. But that isn't so. It's like, sir, I got a precept right here.
Go ahead.
And in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 37, I'm going to start at 21. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them unto one every and I will gather them on every side and bring them into their own land. Verse 22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Verse 23. Neither shall they defile themselves with any more slacking. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions, but I will save them out of all their dwelling places wherein they have sinned, and I will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their God.
That was the prophecy. What do you want to say on that?
See, that prophecy was fulfilled in that vision.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what that's what Peter's seen.
Yeah.
It wasn't that we're allowed to eat pork anymore. Peter's seen Israelites being cleansed and being able to come together again.
Right. Because of what Christ did, the
Right.
sacrifice that he made. That was the whole point of all of it. That's how we're all able. That's how this prophecy is even able to be fulfilled.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Because Christ had to pay that sacrifice for us, so that now we can come back.
Right.
And all that vision is showing this brother, is showing Peter, like, look, he's clean now. The Most High has cleansed him.
Right.
This man, the Most High has cleansed this man. How did the Most High cleanse this man? Christ.
Damn right.
That's how he cleansed that man.
Ooh-wee.
So now this man can come back. So now you can't call him common or unclean anymore. He can come back. He can be your brother again. We can be one nation again. See what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's what that's about, man. It don't have nothing to do with, breaking the dietary law. Now, let me go ahead and get into my topic, man, so we can go into this article. You said you had a precept on it too, right?
Kind of as soon as we start reading the article.
Okay, what precept you got?
2 Peter chapter 2, verse 1.
Okay. Yeah, that's an excellent precept. So let's go to the article first.
Come, sir.
So we're gonna get into this article, man, because this is something a large part of the population, of our people are Catholic and staunch Catholics, just the rosaries, the cross the chest, all of that. And the problem is Christianity is so filled with hypocrisy, and because our people, they want to believe and follow a religion that's going to allow them to still fulfill their lust and their desires. Because of that, and because they accept this religion, because of what it allows them to do for themselves, in exchange, children are hurt. Children are hurt. Children are hurt. Children are being abused. Their innocence is being taken from them because you want to believe in a religion that is a lie. That's a lie. Because you so fooled and so filled and want to believe in the lie so much, your children suffer. That's what you have to understand about a lie. Like believing in a lie is not something that's just going to affect you. Believing in a lie is something that will destroy your child. Go ahead,
Sir, if I may. Believing in a lie is still putting the curses of God among us. And this is proof of it.
Right. Yeah, that's a fact, Doc. So you got the article?
Come, sir.
We're gonna get into this article, man, and read what happened or what's going on. It doesn't go into much detail, but it does give us a overview of the whole situation.
Brownsville, Slacky, sir. Sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Brownsville, Slacky. Brownsville priest indicted facing new charges. Brownsville, Texas. A Brownsville priest was indicted on several child sex crimes records show.
Go ahead.
Fernando Gonzalez Ortega, who was serving as a priest at St. Luke's Catholic Church in Brownsville at the time of his arrest, was indicted May 8th.
Now, even at the time of his arrest, up until the time that he got arrested, he was still at this church, at St. Luke's Catholic Church in Brownsville. Now, if you out there, you still go to St. Luke's Catholic Church in Brownsville, you're just as culpable. You're just as culpable as this bastard, man. Go ahead.
The 6-count indictment the 6-count indictment charges him with continuous sex abuse of a child, victim under 14, indecency with a child with several indecency with a child with sexual contact, sexual assault by a clergyman, and 3 counts of sexual assault of a child.
Go ahead.
Fernando Ortega is accused of sexually abusing a child from December 27th, 2012 through December 26th, 2014.
2 years, man. Go ahead.
The indictment alleges that Gonzalez Ortega also sexually assaulted said child 3 times in 2017, with the most recent assault allegedly taking place on September 15, 2022.
That's 10 years of abuse that this child has suffered, man.
Good night.
Man.
10 years of abuse that this child has suffered, man. Because we want to put our faith and our trust in a goddamn lie, man. A lie. Catholicism is a false religion.
Right.
Like, I don't know what more proof do you need for that to be proven? For you to see and to understand that.
Right.
Like this right here, this is not something that's new. This is something that is common. It's common in the Catholic Church. It's common. It's so common that no one even gives a damn. Where's the protest? Where's the uproar? Now we go stand out in the street and we speak against these type of acts, and our people turn around and look at us like we're evil.
Damn.
They look at us like we're the wicked ones, like we're the ones that are doing the abuse, when we're the ones that are speaking against the abuse. Why are we speaking against it? Because speaking against it is what's going to stop it.
Right.
Waking your silly behind up,
Right.
and telling you that what you're believing in is a lie. It's false. It's wicked. It's evil, and it's going to destroy your child. Now, the faster you wake up to that, the faster you save your child from another predator.
Right.
Let's read some more.
On February 12th, Brownsville police arrested Gonzalez Ortega at the 1900 block of Bernard Road on several active warrants. Gonzalez Ortega was initially arrested in February on multiple child sex related crimes, including trafficking of a person. He was arraigned the following day, and his bond was set at $800,000. Bishop Daniel E. Flores released a statement after Gonzalez Ortega's arrest and said the individual who came forward is now an adult and was advised to report the allegation to police.
Abuse this child all the way up into adulthood, man. Go ahead.
I am deeply saddened and ask you to join me as I pray for the individual who came forward and the family and all the parties affected, including parishioners and the clergy across our diocese who tend to their faithful with fidelity and compassion, Florida said.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
Right.
If you want to stop child abuse, close the doors of the Catholic Church.
That's right.
This damn church right here should have been closed forever and demolished.
Right.
They should have took a big ass crane with a big ass wrecking ball and knocked this church to the ground.
Damn right.
And if there was any truth in this bishop right here, he would tell you that this is something that this man deserves to die for doing.
Right.
Not prayers and all that. He will be on here telling you that this man that did this, he deserves to die.
Right.
And I'm going to make it my business and my job as a bishop of this church to make sure that this never happens again.
Right.
That's what a real man of God would do.
Right.
But because these, of course, are liars and charlatans and, predators, we just going to pray for the family. The family's in our prayers. Come on, man. Come on, man. So if you're out there, go ahead.
It's like if I may I read this precept?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is the book of 2 Peter, chapter 2, verse 1. But there were false prophets among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privily shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction.
Bring upon themselves what?
Swift destruction.
Go ahead.
And many shall follow their pernicious ways.
What kind of ways?
Pernicious.
Go ahead.
Pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of.
The word pernicious means having a harmful effect, especially in a gradual or subtle way. You know what it means to be subtle?
The subtle means conniving,
sneaky.
Sneaky.
That's the type of man that this scripture is describing, which is the type of man that these predators are in the Catholic Church, that these Catholic priests are. They're they have pernicious ways. In right here in verse 2, when it says, "And many shall follow their pernicious ways," all of you that still believe and love and trust in Catholicism and still go to this church, you are the many that are following evil, slick, slimy, disgusting men.
Right.
You are. And it says what? By reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So these same people, the many that shall follow them in their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. These are the same people that speak evil against the truth.
Right.
But they follow this man. You went to church every Sunday. You went to mass every Sunday. And you looked at this man as a man of God, of wisdom. And you honored him. You kissed his hand. You went and confessed to him your sins. You allowed him to baptize your babies. Meanwhile, he was destroying a child.
Damn, man.
In that same house, that same place that you call the house of God. This is the type of men that you trust in because you're Catholic, because you believe in lies. And then the men of truth, oh, you'll never follow us. You'll never follow men of truth because there's no truth in you.
Right.
And there's no lie in us.
Right.
So how could you? How could you follow the truth? You look at us and you speak evil of us because we follow the truth, because we keep the truth. There's many right now that'll see this class and hear us talking about this class and this evil that's being done. And right here, it makes perfect sense to us right here.
Right.
This makes perfect sense. But still, these many that follow and trust and believe in these type of men, these type of priests, they'll watch this class and they'll speak evil of us. Oh, look, they don't know what they're talking about. They're not men of God.
Right.
They're not priests. They'll speak evil of us.
Right.
But they'll follow a child molester. You'll follow a child molester, though, and say that he's ordained by God. But you won't follow a brother that's trying to protect you and your children from child molesters.
Right.
So today, I'm going to teach you how to avoid child molesters, how to keep children safe from these type of men that we just read about right here. So we're gonna watch. I got a couple videos that we're gonna watch because what I want you to do is just look at the mind of these type of men. Look at their mind, the way they think, the way they work, so that you can understand it, so you know how to defeat it. You know how to make sure that it never happens. And that's what we're about to get into. Let me see the first video. Let's see, give me 1 second. Let me pull that video up real quick. Now, as we watch these videos, I want you to keep in mind what I just said and how you want to identify these type of men. We got the first one right here.
FAA Originals. Charlotte?
Izzy, we wanted to know, how does a predator earn a child's trust? How do they prey right under their parents' noses? Those are the heartbreaking questions from the families of so many victims.
So this is what this whole video, what they're trying, the questions they have. The question they have is how does a predator earn a child's trust? How does a predator prey on a child right under the nose of the parents without them even knowing? That's what we finna find out from the predators themselves.
Tonight, we're hearing the predators' unsettling stories about how they would protect children from themselves.
I took her innocence. I took her ability to be a child. And that was not mine to take. In fact, it was mine to protect.
Too often, the people trusted to protect children choose to prey on them instead.
Did you know in your head at the time that what you were doing was wrong?
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a North Texas man who sexually assaulted a child.
So you guys had sex?
We had a sexual relationship, yes.
He went to prison. Now, years later, he's agreed to tell us the secrets of predators as long as we hide his identity.
Are you the type of person that parents might look at and say, he looks like a sex offender?
No.
You're the opposite.
Absolutely. In fact, I would be the kind of person that they would look at and say, there's not a chance in the world he would ever have done what he did. Not a chance in the world.
Perpetrators often wear a mask of deception.
Terry Miller is one of the nation's leading experts on the topic.
It's very common for these perpetrators to be teachers of the year and be award-winning coaches. The victim is the only one who knows the monster.
You know what is also because so the examples they gave are only in the school setting. She said perpetrators, these type of predators, that they're masters of deception. So it's very common for them to be teachers of the year, have, a lot of rewards working with children. What's also very common is for them to be Catholic priests. It's for them to portray themselves as men of God. That's part of the deception.
I wanted to be the next great mentor to young people. I wanted to change lives.
Yet this popular North Texas teacher had a secret.
I had a sexual attraction to an underage female. For me, pornography was a big trigger.
He sent explicit nude photos of himself to a student. He was later convicted of indecency with a child.
The act itself is about as close to unforgivable as you can get.
In each story, the predator, the victim, and the ending are different. But both offenders say their stories and the many others like them always start the same.
It's what we refer to in counseling as grooming your victim.
Grooming is the common practice of breaking down a child's moral fibers.
They first rape the child's mind and then in order to rape their body.
The predators say the first step is isolating their victim.
So step number 1, how to stop a predator. Don't let him isolate your child. The way you stop your child, step number 1, if you in that Catholic church, the number 1 way to stop your child from being abused by that priest is by never leaving your child alone with that priest.
Right.
Ever. That's step 1. We're going to go ahead.
Creating opportunities to be alone with her, apart and separate from the group, on the bus, sitting together all the time.
Then they work to earn their victim's trust.
You become the child's confidant.
You become the child's confidant. You become their all in all. You become the one that they look to as the one that is going to provide their answers and give them their guidance.
So once you earn the child's trust, it becomes easier to push the boundaries.
That's correct.
Most often, they use texts and Facebook to do it.
You got that? The second thing they do is they earn your child's trust. They become your child's confidant, or your child, meaning like your child confides in them, goes to them about their problems, talk to them about things that they're going through. So the second way that you stop and you don't allow your child to be abused by no Catholic priest is don't allow your child to find, some stranger or some other man, some priest as their confidant. Don't allow that to happen. And this is one of the ways that you can, that what they're about to go into right now, this is one of the ways that you can make sure that doesn't happen.
So you allow sexual subject matter to be talked about, perhaps. You're open to sexual questions. And of course, then you start to push the boundary a little farther. Like, is that something you're interested in? What do you like in those situations?
What did you do or say to make sure that her parents didn't know or suspect anything?
Why?
The big one.
Continually. We would sneak around and find ways to meet at the mall or meet at the movie theater. When we became sexual, that's when everything went into protection mode. We've got to hide this. We've got to keep this secret.
The conversation we had was difficult to hear, but listen as he gives advice to parents everywhere.
If a parent sees their child spending an inordinate amount of time with a significant adult that is outside the family, that is something to really spend some time looking at. If your child themselves starts talking about another significant adult in ways that you're going, I didn't realize you guys were that close. Any attempt to gather favor, connection is a part of that grooming process.
They say the number one deterrent
To any attempt to get favor or connection with that child, that's part of the grooming process. And that's why it's so evil what that teacher did, that brother that they fired, that had those little girls unbraiding his hair. That's why that was so evil, because all the people that defend that type of behavior, what you don't understand, you don't see how that's grooming a child. You don't see how he's grooming little girls to be comfortable around him, to confide in him, when you're supposed to be teaching them ABC 1, 2, 3.
Right.
What does ABC 1, 2, 3 have to do with my daughter braiding your hair?
Right. Damn. Good night. That's wild.
Let's read on. I mean, let's finish up this video. We got another one.
current is an adult who monitors the child's electronic communication.
Monitor the child's electronic communication. That's a big one. If you're in that Catholic church, I strongly advise you to monitor your child's electronic communication. I mean, the truth is right here in front of you.
Right.
Because this whole situation thrives in secrecy. It will never survive in the midst of the light.
I hope you caught that in. He said the whole situation, all of it thrives in secrecy. So how do you make sure that your child being in the Catholic Church doesn't end up in that type of situation? Don't allow any secrecy. Don't allow any privacy. So I even right now, from when my kids were little, I've always taught them and continue to teach them that we do not keep secrets.
Right.
In our family, we don't keep secrets from each other. You understand? Because these type of things happen.
Right.
With secrets. This whole thing thrives off secrecy. Secrecy and of course people turning a blind eye, as they would say.
Right.
Because there's no way that you can convince me that this evil bastard over here in Brownsville, that he was allowed to abuse this child for 10 years, from a child all the way up into adulthood, and no one suspected anything. You kept going to that church. You kept going to him for confession. You kept allowing him to pray over you. You kept allowing him to baptize your babies. And you just turned a blind eye. Like I would love, if there's any of you out there that go to this church or familiar with, have been to this church, I would love for you to just comment on this video and just let us know how you feel about this.
Right.
Do you have anything to say as a patron of this church and looking at this man as a man of God? Like, shouldn't you question your faith at this point?
Right.
Like, you should be questioning something.
Right. Yeah.
Because this is not the first one. It's not like this is the first one or some rare occurrence of something that's happened that rarely ever happens. No, this is common. This is common.
Yeah.
So if you Catholic out there and you go to a church, which I'm pretty sure you do, go to a church and you've had clergymen that have been indicted on child sex abuse charges, and you continue to go to that church, I would like So like, I would like for you to let us know, to let the world know why you choose to continue to go to that church, knowing what happens behind those closed doors. That's what I would like to know. Now we got another one. We got one more that I'm gonna play. Give me 1 second so I can pull it up. One more that I can play, because now we see, the type of men, how these men think. They're very aware and know exactly what it is that they're doing when they're grooming a child, when they're getting the child to confide in them and to trust them, and then they start figuring out ways where they can get alone with this child,
Right.
to take advantage, to abuse this child. These men are these type of predators are very calculated. They're very calculated, and you know exactly what it is that they're doing, and that's why they should be swinging from trees. You understand?
Yes, sir.
This evil that they're doing, you should be swinging from a tree. So let me play this other video, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Let's see this other one. This one is very, very important too. Now, in this video right here, this is a convicted child predator, and what he's going to do is, give me 1 second. This bastard right here, what he's going to do is explain. He's going to explain how he groomed young boys.
Grooming. I would check out their family situation. I would check out their clothing to see how well they were, financially. I would check out their social interaction with other kids. When we were on the ballparks.
Why did you think he checks out the family situation and how well they're dressed? Go ahead.
So it could be like, look like he's doing a good deed by like donating clothes, trying to finesse his way into that child's life.
But what is it that he's looking for though?
I mean, it's like young one. He's making sure if their parents actually pay close attention to their children.
That's what he's looking for. Why he's checking out the family situation. He's trying to see how close attention the mother or the father pays to this child, or whether or not the father is even in the life of this child.
Right.
Why he's looking at the clothes and how well they're dressed?
It's like the other one, if I may, because if a mother actually cares about her children, she's going to care about their appearance in public and how well they dressed and how like and the state of their clothes. Like, she don't want her kids to be dressed out in rags, so she's going to make sure her kids' clothes are at least well enough to to be suitable for their children. And if their father is in the picture, she's going to have the means and the funds to do so.
Right. So he's looking at their finances, how, if they're poor, how poor are they? He's looking at how well the child is dressed, because like you call y'all is saying, because that shows the care that the parents put into the child. So this is all the things that this bastard is looking for.
Right.
Or on the gym floor, you know, I would make sure which ones I wanted to molest. I would give them special attention, congratulate them, talk to them when I know that I would never be allowed to talk to anybody else. You know, aside from everybody, I would give them the attention that an official is not supposed to give anybody. And it made them feel like, wow, he's paying me attention. You know, it is a direct form of grooming.
Attention is a goddamn demon.
Right.
It's a demon. He's looking for a child that is this child that this bastard is going after. This is a child that is suffering from some form of neglect.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
This child is suffering from some form of neglect, meaning the parents are not paying attention. So he's able to come into the picture and be the adult in their life that is paying attention.
Right.
That is congratulating them when they go home and all they're doing is being tore down and yelled at and being told they ain't shit.
Right.
So now they're going to look at this man like he's, you know, a father figure. Because he's the only one that congratulates them. He's the only one that gives them attention when they do something good or tells them it's okay when they do something bad.
Amen.
Were there certain characteristics that you looked for in children before molesting them?
In children, yes, but more, I also looked at their families. If I thought the father was a threat, I would not approach the child.
And that's for all the brothers out there. Be a goddamn threat.
Damn right. Right.
Be a threat. Because these bastards, just like he just said, he looks at the family and he feels that the father is a threat, then he's not going to even try. He's not even going to try. But for you single mothers out there, you proud single mothers, and you know, you taking your child to some Catholic church and letting them be altar boys and altar girls and leaving them alone in youth services and letting the priest pick them up and take them places. You're offering your child up to a goddamn monster.
Right.
Is what you're doing. Because you're too stupid to listen to real priests. To real priests.
Right.
To the truth.
Right.
If I thought that the child had friends that he would tell, I would not approach him. If I thought the child had friends that were in the same capacity he was, I would approach him. For the simple fact that if I could molest him, I could lure him into believing, grooming him into believing that he would enjoy it. And therefore, I could manipulate him into having his other friends come and be molested by me as well.
So perhaps a child that doesn't really have a whole lot of friends, maybe not really a strong family, things like that.
Yes, no spiritual values, weak in education, you know, needs help in many ways, even from split parenting, you know, has a mother who may be having problems with the family, you know, well, here comes superhero in to help out, you know, wow, well, thank you very much. No problem. You ever need me to take them away for the night so you can have a night out? No problem. It works.
And that's why they should swing from a tree.
Right.
That's why they should swing from a tree. So listen, man. The ISUBK is the home of the truth.
That's right.
We're going to keep giving you the truth. Go ahead, Doc.
Select that one. If I may, I got a preset right here.
Go ahead.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues."
Excellent precept, Art. And that's what we're telling you tonight. You're Black, Hispanic, or Native American. We're telling you to come out of the Catholic Church.
Right.
Come out of the Catholic Church so you don't become partakers of the evil that happens in that church, man.
Right.
So you don't have to be partakers in that. The beautiful thing about the truth is knowing that Christ died for every Black, Hispanic, and Native American.
Right.
Christ died for all of us so that we can have a second chance to be able to come back and be brand new people, brand new men.
Right.
Brand new. So we can start all over again, man. That's the beautiful thing about this truth. That's the beautiful thing about what Christ did when he died on that cross.
Right.
Now, what you're doing by continuing to go to that church, continue to believe and trust in those lies, man, and put your child in the way of this type of evil, this type of danger, trust these type of men, what you're doing is you're spitting on Christ.
Right.
You're spitting in his face, man. You're spitting in his face, man. So all we can tell you to do is to wake the hell up, get out of that church before it's too late. Because if you watch the news, you will continue to see these type of stories come out over and over and over and over and over again. The laws are not done away with. You can't eat shrimp, crab, pork, and lobster, and you can't go to church on Sundays and go confess to some priest. That is against the laws of God.
Right.
It's against the laws of God. And the reason why, prime example. This is a prime example of why. This is the prime example why the Most High said, you should not put any other gods before me.
Right. Right.
This is a prime example why right here. Because when you do, not only you suffer, but your children suffer. And it destroys them. It destroys them. With that, I'm going to pass the class over to young man Jeremiah. You got the security announcements.
Concert. This is the IUCPK security announcements. We are IUCPK started out of 1 West, 125th Street, out of Harlem, New York. Rule for new brothers and sisters: when a brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are also to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. They need transportation. The teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 months period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment, Numbers 18:21 and Malachi 3:8 through 10, means that the 10th in Hebrew, Ma'ashra. 10% of every penny, any increase the Lord gives you. Give the treasury department or teacher, prophet, priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like upcoming holy convocations.
The upcoming holy convocation, Feast of First Fruits, starts after the Sabbath of Unleavened Bread, sundown, Sunday, April 28, 2024. Count 50 days. Celebrate the 50th day, Monday, June 17, 2024. Starts before sundown. You can find this in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 10 through 22.
Or remind Icum and Aquat to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black: boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarf. This includes the ICPK security announcements.
Clap it up.